Greetings, geometry fans. I'm Mr. Brooks. This is your quiz number 10 for geometry. We're talking about sections 7 something through 7.5 and 7.6. I think we started with 7.4. Okay, so make sure if you're using a paper copy, do your work on the answer sheet that Mr. Houston's given you. Take your time. If you have a question, make sure you ask myself or my esteemed colleague, Mr. Hepner. Here we go. Here's number 1. Again, oh, by the way, don't forget, y'all, let's not pay attention to that number. Remember, these are the numbers on the test, not these. I'm not going to darken them out. We've done enough of these. And yes, it's laser pointer time on the quiz. So, anyhow, on number 1 here, says determine whether the triangles are similar. If so, pick a theorem. So our choices are, angle, angle, side, 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 and side, angle, side, or none. All right, you need to take a look at these two triangles, like B is 30 degrees, F is 60, D is 90, A is 90. I would maybe want to figure out what this third angle is. Maybe take these two and subtract them from 180 degrees. So I'd take 180 minus 90 minus 30. That's going to equal angle C. I'd want to figure this guy out first. All right. And or you could figure out angle E doing the same thing. You would just take 180 minus 90 minus 60 equals angle E. Okay. I'd make sure all the angles matched up. You determine which theorem it is or if it's none. So that's number 1. Okay, gang, here's number 2. All right. It says that we want to determine if the triangles are similar. Again, we've got angle, angle, side, 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 and a side, angle, side, or you got none. All right. So I would personally, and this is just me, I would draw these two triangles out separately. You got one bigger one, one little one. So the little one's going to be R, Q, and S. And the big one's going to be R, P, and T. So Q is 58 degrees, and P is 58 degrees. I would also keep in mind the fact that notice we have somebody that's used twice. It reminds you of a certain property, if you were looking in the mirror, that you would use. So which one of these theorems would it be? I'm going to give you a hint. It's not that one, and it's not that one. So I'm leaving you with 2 choices on this one. Okay, number 3, scrolling on down. Same thing, same exact thing. I'm going to redraw my triangles. You got the little one up top, and then you got the big one here. So we have J, H, and K. And we have J, G, and L. So this is 6. This whole thing here would be 12. This is 8. This would be 16. So again, you need to figure out which one of these would be the correct theorem to use if they're similar. If they're not similar, mark not similar. That's how it works. Number 4. Okay, again, same thing. Determine whether these triangles are similar. Here's your choices. Angle, angle, side, 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 and side, angle, side. Again, this is just me. I personally would like to maybe redraw. Let's just redraw the little one. Right here like that. So here's B. Here's C. Here's A. So we got 15, 15, and 23. Now you want to determine if they're similar. Again, we're dealing with all sides here, right? So basically the only guy in the game is probably going to be this guy or this guy, right? So you need to kind of figure out, check all the scale factors. If I'm checking out a scale factor, I'm going to find a corresponding side. For example, maybe 30 and that one. Check the scale factor of those two, but also check the scale factor of the rest of them. They all have to be the same scale factor. If you get 2/3, they all need to be 2/3. If they're different, then they're not similar. That's for number 4. Here's number 5. Now here's the picture. Evidently the problem's on the next page. So again, I would redraw this and maybe redraw it on your paper, on your answer sheet. There's J, there's N, there's K, there's L, M, and K again. Notice we're using K twice. That's 15 units, that's 10 units, that's 16 units, that's 24. Okay, so draw all of this on your sheet, and now's page, we'll see what the question says. And again, this is number 5 still. Don't pay attention to that. Okay, so we're still determining whether they're similar, just like all the rest. I kind of figured that's where we were going. But again, that was all sides, other than, if you recall, we had 2 sides and we even had an angle. Look and see if you've got an angle that's being used in both. Might tip you off into which one of these it is. Here, I'll give you a hint. It's definitely not similar. It's one of the 3. Okay? Number 6, same thing. I wouldn't redraw it, but I would, or you could. We could redraw it here. We'll just switch it around like this. Here's B. Here's A. C, not L. So 2, 4, and 3. Now identify your corresponding sides. Okay? Since they're all they're all sides, I should say, the scale factors need to be the same. That's for number 6. Number 7's on the next. We need to find the value of X. Okay? Here he is. So we can figure out how long that is. So we're going to set up a proportion. All right? I'd probably maybe say 6 over 18. How did I get 18, you might ask? I added these two together. Okay, if you remember on the worksheet that we did in class on Thursday, you had to add those two together. So we're going to set it equal to then X, because I went the top over the whole thing, and the whole thing would be X plus 8. Okay, so remember when you cross multiply, you got to multiply the 12 to the X and to the 8 both. Okay? Good luck. Again, number 8, we're looking for the value of X. So here, I'd say, okay, whoops. Hey, how about you use the pen, dummy? X over 20. Whoops, not 20. Where'd I make my mistake, folks? Mr. Hepner's sitting here thinking, what's he doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's right here with me, guys. We'd do a video, but we don't want to scare you with both of us here. I'd say X plus 20, I'm sorry, right here. And then we took X, we did X over 20, so that means I got to start with the 18 over, that's going to be 33, like that. Then cross multiply. Make sure you do both. There's your picture on 9. We want to know how long is this segment. Now, if you recall, in the notes given to you by a brilliant instructor, that segment is going to be half of that one, right? I don't think I need to say anything else. That's number 9. Okay, number 10. Find the value of X. Again, this is the opposite of the last one. So that we give you the short one. This one is how much bigger? Okay, he is half of what he is. So how do you go from here to here? Multiply by a certain number. Number 11. Gotta love these problems, don't you guys? Look at all these lines in here. It's not crazy at all to look at, is it? Okay, let's just determine, though, is this a reduction or is this an enlargement? Now, remember, your original shape is always just going to be the regular letters. Okay, your new shape is the one that's got the little prime marks next to, like a little apostrophe. So is this a reduction or an enlargement? Okay, guys, on number 12 here, we want to determine the scale factor. Basically, here's the original, okay? How much smaller is this one? This is what size of this one? So here's how we're going to do this, all right? I'm going to zoom in here nice and close. And let's, here's your new one. Here's the old one. And yeah, if you're thinking, man, I'm impressed with how straight he's drawn, you should be. For all you folks like Tyler Bradley, Corey Kohler, or like to be critics out there, just to name a few. All right. But guys, we need to figure out the scale factor. So all I want to do is I want to pick out some numbers. Don't worry about this X and Y right now. All right. Let's find, let's say here, okay, this length here, this 16, we're going to use him in comparisons to the 36. Because 16 is from C to R prime, but the 36 is from C to R. It's the whole thing. So this alone should give us our scale factor. So I would reduce that fraction I just wrote down for you, and then that should give you the scale factor of this reduction. It's smaller, okay? So good luck with that. Okay, children, here's 13. Same picture. We need to find the value of x. Where's x? He's right there. So we want to know the length of this side, this PR. That's what x is representing. All right. Now, who's the corresponding side with him? If you're thinking it's 14, you're right. So x and 14 go together. So we're going to make a proportion. X over 14. So we're going big over little is equal to, and again, I cannot use 27 because he corresponds with y. That really wouldn't work out. But I can use these two cats. All right. And if it helps you, like grouping like terms in algebra, use the circles and squares. That way you know who goes with who. 36 goes on the top because he's with the bigger scale. 16 on the bottom. Now we can cross multiply and you can solve for x. Okay, two more problems. This is number 14. All right. Now we want to know what y is. All right. So let's zoom in here again and let's find corresponding sides. So, okay, here's y. Who's his corresponding side? I hope you're saying 27. Now, again, we got to use, if we're going to set up a proportion, y over 27. Whoops, that's 24, dummy. There we go. Quit laughing, Kohler. All right. Now, again, we're going to use the pieces that we have full numbers for. So, again, I went little over big this time, so now I need to go little, 16 over the big here. Cross multiply, solve for y. Make sure you enter your answers on the Google form. Moving on. Okay, we want to find the value of x. He's right here. So how long is he? We'll set up a proportion again. Your last problem. So let's say x over 15. Now we're going big figure over the little one, right? So when we use these numbers here, we need to go big over little again to set up our proportion, right? So 12 over 10. Cross multiply, solve for x. If you have any questions, please contact your local educator. His name is Mr. Hepner. I don't want to help you. Actually, I will, but have a good day. Make sure you go to the Google form now, enter your answers, and I guess that's about it. Bye-bye.